What's going on is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Still in Bucharest. It's an awesome place to be. And I get to experience a lot of different cultures and a lot of things that's happening. There's a lot of people out. Give you all a little bit of insight. It's a lot going on here. And I'm excited. I'm excited to get to walk around and explore some of the buildings and the architecture. The architecture is the thing that really gets to me. And I don't know if it's just because I come from Detroit, where I've explored a lot of buildings. A lot of y'all may not even be familiar with the fact that my earliest content, some of my earliest content was urban exploration and abandoned buildings and architecture and all of that type of stuff. So this is right up my alley. This is dope. And just to see what I see is absolutely great. I like this place a lot. And the few days that I've been here, I really like this place. But that's not what I came to talk to you guys about today. I want to talk to you guys specifically about Kamala Harris's rally. So, they're pulling out all of the big guns. Every single celebrity that they can recruit. They've recruited. Taylor Swift. Recently, Eminem. They had Barack Obama doing his best karaoke impression of Eminem rapping "Lose Yourself." I wonder how much he practiced that before he decided to get on stage. And then recently, they try to make it seem like they got the biggest rallies and they got all of the support. But see, none of that stuff is going to actually get you into the White House. They had Beyonce. Now, we all know that Beyonce, and I guess to a larger extent, JayZ, was supporting Kamala Harris because they've always been some of the biggest, in my opinion, hypocrites that existed on the face of the earth. And you know me, I'm just going to say what I think, and I don't really care about what nobody thinks because I'm my own person and I came into this game by myself and I don't need anybody. I'm not looking for any handouts, hand-ups, any of that type of stuff. But we always knew that these people, and I've largely defended JayZ and Beyonce, especially with this whole Jaguar right situation and stuff like that. And I still will because I'm objective enough to be able to separate how I feel about them and their political views from alleged accusations, unfounded accusations. I believe in innocent until proven guilty, right? But we always knew that they were the party for the rich. And I'm gonna give you all a little bit of insight right after I break down what happened at the rally, right? So what happened at the rally is that they called it in Houston. They know that, oh, that's dope. You want to go down there? Well, we'll go down there in a minute, right after we get done vlogging. So they called it in Houston, which obviously we know that where Beyonce is from. And the one thing that I don't understand is why do they do all of these rallies where people from instead of where they at? They don't even live there. It's largely suspected that the house that she grew up in, I think it burned or something like that, and they don't even own it. They don't even live there. They had Lizzo come all the way to Detroit. Lizzo live in California in a $15 million house. JayZ and Beyonce, they say live in California, and obviously they saying that they got property everywhere, including New York, but that they live in California in this $100, $200 million house on one of the most expensive properties in California. What are y'all doing? What's going on? And so they brought them out in Houston, and they brought them out to the stadium, and Beyonce did a little song. And most of the people came out, they came out for a free concert. They didn't even come out for Kamala Harris. And how do I know this? I know this because after Beyonce did her little thing, and then Kamala Harris came on, they started chanting Donald Trump. And Trump started getting all of the support from the people in the audience, and Kamala Harris did her same old. She did the joke that she thought was gonna work 2 times. It wasn't funny the first time, but she was like, oh yeah, the smaller rally down the street. But again, majority of the people came for the concert for Beyonce. They didn't come for Kamala Harris. And this is how you know they're desperate. Conversely, while she was doing that, Joe Rogan dropped the Trump interview that was almost 3 hours long, and it broke the internet. And you know Kamala Harris would never, and when I say never, I mean never. Hold on, babe. And I mean never ever, under any circumstances, sit down for anything longer than a 25-minute interview, let alone almost 3 hours. And when I started watching it, I haven't finished watching it yet. It's a great interview. When I started watching it, I realized this dude got so much substance, and it's so much that he hasn't even said. It's so much that he's holding back. And he was basically in the beginning breaking down, because Joe Rogan asked the question. He didn't volunteer the information. Joe Rogan asked the question, was like, yo, you got all of these people that used to support you, like Oprah. And he was like, yeah, I was rocking with Oprah for a long time. I was on one of her last episodes, early episodes, all of that. And then he started breaking down how The View used to love him and adore him. And they would all, embrace him and everything like that. But the minute that he switched over and he started having a political view as far as deciding that he wanted to run for president of the United States of America, they all changed on him. This place is dope. I can't tell you some of the places that I hung out at yesterday, or that we hung out at yesterday. But I will tell you that as of my experience right now, of all of the places that I visited, both in the United States of America and here, that this is one of the most awesome places that I've ever visited. But let's get back to the conversation. So Trump was basically saying that all of these people used to be his friends. They loved him. Laura Trump actually substantiated that on the Breakfast Club also. And then at some point when he decided to run for president of the United States of America, they all labeled him as racist. How is that? How do you get embraced by the community for your entire life, and then somehow, some way, you become racist in a matter of months? First, they went against him because of Hillary Clinton, but it wasn't a black woman, so they couldn't really say that he was racist. Then he's going against Kamala Harris, and he got to win a third time in order for them to now label him racist. And so at what point, because he's a president for everybody, at what point, because you have a history of him being in office for 4 years, in which all of our lives and the opportunities that we had was 10 times better, I capitalized off of it, which is one of the reasons why I'm so successful today. Will you see that it's not about what they can give you in order to tie you to a party? It's about the opportunity that's presented to you for you to do for yourself. It's so obvious what the play is. It's so obvious what the bias is. And this is why I don't trust anybody, especially when it comes to social media, content creation, entertainment, and what's best for me, because at any point they'll turn against you for whatever they think their best interest is. We've seen this on a microscopic level, on a smaller level, even with me. So what makes you think that him at this level, it couldn't happen to you? They pulling out the big guns because they desperate. They throwing every single Hail Mary that they can. And even when they give a free concert, it's not going to incentivize people to vote for you, because at the end of the day, people vote based off of their pocketbooks, especially when it's not working out in their favor. They can't afford to do it based off of identity politics. They can't afford to ignore the migrant crisis no more. And so these Democrats have messed up so bad to where everything has become horrible, and then you forced to vote for the person that's actually in your best interest, even though everything in you is pushing you not to, because you've been trained to stay on code instead of do the thing that's in the best interest of your family. I'm curious as to what y'all think. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. And then last but not least, make sure you get your tickets to come and kick it with me in person. Discount code Anton. I will be in Atlanta on November 2nd, Detroit on December 14th. And we going to get it in. We going to get it popping. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all stay focused, man. Get engaged, stay informed, and make sure you participate.